after all these years on Desperate Housewives, voicing over your character, you're now nominated in that voiceover character for an Emmy Award. What does that mean to you after these many seasons on the show?
It's such an honor because, I think we had such acclaim the first 2 years. Everyone was getting nominated. The show was getting nominated. All the ladies on the lane were getting nominated. So I think there was a small expectation that maybe I would get nominated for the voiceover. But after, 6 seasons passed, I really wasn't expecting anything. So for me, it's really kind of the cherry on top of the sundae. I already love the job that I do. I feel privileged to have this role and to be acknowledged for it, particularly at this late in the game. It makes it even sweeter.
Mm. I was just thinking, Brenda, around the time that the show premiered in 2004, it was just an incredible amount of buzz and hype. Can you describe for us what that was like at the time?
It was a surreal experience, I have to say. I've been a part of hit shows before, Seinfeld and Party 5 and some others, but there had never in my experience been such a kind of social uprising of support for a show I'd been on. And it was almost literally an overnight success. And it was one of those things where it just felt like a wave that you were riding. And especially for the first 2 years, it was a little overwhelming to have that amount of attention, particularly for the core ladies. But it was also really, really encouraging that, we were on the right track. It put a little pressure on us during that second season to try to match the first season. As we all know, we don't really refer to the second season much, but it was exciting to be a part of and a little scary, quite frankly.
Mm.
Well, your show has been in the news a lot the past few days. What can you say and what can you not say about this last season that's coming up?
Well, it's a little bittersweet. We obviously negotiated for a possible 8th and 9th year, so all of us were hoping that we may get to have the full run to the 9. But, when the word actually comes down, it's amazing how emotional you get. It's Felicity actually said it most perfectly, I think. She said, when you know something's finite, it gives you the opportunity to taste it a little bit more. You indulge in the sweetness of it. And I think we're all in just such a place of gratitude that we get to actually know that this is our last year and really enjoy every single moment of it.
Mm. Absolutely. Now, let's talk Emmys, because all those years when your co-stars were being nominated, I know for me and for a lot of people who watch this stuff, it was always like, well, why isn't Brenda Strong in the voiceover category? And the real answer to that is because usually it's people who voice animated characters. That's really the forte for this category. And so let's go through. I've got this list here of your competitions. We see if maybe we might be able to wipe the floor with some of these people just straight away. Okay, you've got Porky Pig. That's pretty amazing to be nominated against Bob Bergen playing Porky Pig. You've got Homer Simpson, Krusty the Clown, and Barney, all played by Dan Castellaneta. Now that's pretty impressive.
Who's a very funny actor who I've worked with before.
Yeah, he's a fantastic actor.
He's got a lot of Emmys. He doesn't need them.
He has way too many Emmys, and it just might be time for him to do the whole Candice Bergen thing and maybe just step back for a second. Robot Chicken Seth Green, that's pretty formidable competition.
And for so many characters, he's extremely talented. Diverse and
very diverse.
A bit of a glutton, I might add.
yeah. Bit of a glutton. Maurice LaMarque's character on Futurama, I think that was more of a one-time deal. I'm not really familiar with that episode, but he got in for Futurama, so another animated character. And then you've got the esteemed Christopher Plummer, who narrated a program called Moguls and Movie Stars. That's pretty impressive.
I've seen. Brilliant.
It's Christopher Plummer, you can't complain. But then you've got Mary Alice. Now, Mary Alice, that's the linchpin of the whole show. That's how the show started, with, watching you put a gun to your head, let's be frank. And now you're being nominated by the Emmys. So have you given much thought to maybe actually winning this thing?
I have a lot of people who are rooting for me. I think maybe because it has been 7 years and they feel like it's kind of like a career acknowledgement in a way. And that's nice. But I have to say, you mentioned it, Christopher Plummer being in the same category with me. I would love to just being in the same sentence with him is an honor. So, and I'm certainly appreciative to the Academy for including me. And, not to take anything away from the animation voices, because that's an extraordinary talent, and is the best of the best. But, what I do is different. So I don't really know how anybody can compare the two and say, well, that's better or that's better. I think it's more of a kind of maybe a sentimental sweep that might happen. Yeah. So I have given it some thought. I actually started crying on a hike the other day because I realized, I know it's so silly, but I realized, how important this is to me. And I realized that my parents aren't here anymore to be able to share this with me. And in a weird way, because they're, on the other side, like Mary Alice is, I kind of thought, maybe this is their way of taking care of me from that position of their omnipresence. So, so that kind of touched me.
Well, let's talk about an award you do have on your shelf, and that's the Ensemble Award from Screen Actors Guild. Back when your show won that a couple of times, what was that like for all of you to share in an Ensemble Award from your brothers and sisters in the Guild?
That's always the most, I think, prestigious when your peers vote for you and they say, you've done an extraordinary job. And our show truly is an ensemble. Yeah. Everyone has a very vital role to play, and Mark has written it very evenly throughout the years. And so to have that ensemble recognized was really nice. I wish the Emmys actually would have an outstanding ensemble, because nothing happens in a vacuum in our industry. You're only as good as the person that you're working with. So I think it's great that they acknowledge casts as an overall collective that way. I have to say, it's kind of fun because, I'm sure you all had dreams when you were little. One of my dreams was being able to do something like this, and to have it actually come to fruition was one of those like bucket list things that you just check off and you go, wow, life is actually turning out the way I imagined. So it's kind of exciting.
Yeah, well, look, talking from one iconic pop culture ensemble, you're now moving over to another one. I'm not sure how much you're allowed to talk about Dallas, but can you give us anything at all that we can so we can stew on until it finally hits the air?
Everybody that's seen the sneak peek of the pilot says, really, 2012, summer of 2012, I have to wait this long? I'm telling you, there's such a groundswell of excitement for this show. I think, obviously, from the previous fans who were very, very tried and true with these characters for so long, but also, worldwide, there's this understanding of what this is from a cultural standpoint. I mean, when JR got shot, it was world-stopping news. And I think it was the first time in my awareness in television cultural history that it had such an impact. And it certainly set the tone for all those evening soaps that kind of, tried to imitate Dallas. I'm beyond excited to be part of this cast. We have the three iconic characters of JR and Bobby and Sue Ellen back. I'm so lucky to be the new Mrs. Bobby Ewing, Anne Ewing. And then we have four brand new generation members of the family that will carry on that legacy and the kind of power dynasty struggle. So it's really exciting to be part of this. And we're going to be filming in Dallas. So we're going to have that authenticity of actually being in Dallas while we shoot.
What was it like that first day? You're not just meeting Larry Hagman or Patrick Duffy, but you're actually meeting J.R. Ewing, Bobby Ewing, and the other ones that's like stepping into the history books.
I know.
It is. It's kind of like meeting Ronald Reagan or something, I would imagine. There's this, they're bigger than life, literally. When Larry Hagman walked into the room for that table read, and he had those little, JR dollars, and he's passing them out, and we went around the table, and everyone was introducing themselves and their character, and Larry was sitting next to Patrick on the other side, and, I said, Brenda Strong, I'm playing Anne Ewing, and of course Patrick said, Bobby Ewing, and then Larry goes, Larry Hagman, icon. So that was just one of those things where he just really levels the playing field and lets everybody know we're going to set the tone of this show.
This is how we do it.
It's funny.
Well, look, Brenda, we wish you all the best for the Emmys upcoming in the next few weeks. If you end up winning that Emmy, fantastic. And if not, at least you are finally recognised by the Academy for your long-time work on an iconic show. So well done and good luck.
Thank you. Such a privilege and honor. Thank you very much.